All right, who let this jackhole into the show?
I can't see on Skype. Who's here?
Hey guys. I just wanted to call into to your show and basically just let you know what a bad job you're doing.
What? What are you talking about?
Who is this?
At least, yeah, I think I know who this is, and this is a podcast killing motherfucker.
Yeah, this is Madcucks, and since you didn't join my podcast network, instead you tried to go out on your own. Fortunately, I had to come in here and assassinate your personal and professional reputations.
Hey, I submitted to your podcast network. I haven't heard back from you yet.
Yeah, and he didn't pick us.
All right, well, okay, sometimes it takes me a while to get around to doing stuff, okay?
Like writing books.
Welcome to Here's What I Don't Get, from the north, south, east to west, the only international podcast to tackle all of life's toughest issues. I am your host, Madcucks, and with me today are special guests from the red state of North Carolina, Uncle Buck.
That's me.
And from the Great White North, Joe Chaco.
Hola!
Today's host apparently can't get the copyright, but that's fine. I think it's fitting.
I made that copy better. Your stupid hat says I made that copy great again.
Always with the hat jabs. Always. You're the one who's wearing 5 crowns, mister.
I'm wearing 7 crowns. Get it right, idiot.
Uncle Buck, we have another guest on the show here.
How would you fit 7 crowns on a head that big? I just don't get it.
Takes lots of practice.
Madcucks. Do we have a beef? Is that what's going on here? Do we have a beef here? Is that why you constantly were harassing us all week to try to get your voice onto this show?
Yeah, we do have a beef. I feel like this podcast, you're calling them issues, but let's just be honest, what they really are here, they're problems.
Okay, well, let's just save that for your issue then, because we got to get right into it, man. I got good news.
Yeah,
great news.
Go for it.
We're up to $10 on our Patreon.
Woohoo! Double digits!
I'm excited about this. This makes me, it's so great. And we've had a lot of great interaction this week with fans of the show, hitting us up on Facebook, on the Facebook page.
Do you have any of those comments ready for me? Because I'm ready to knock them down.
Of course not.
Well, we had a contest going, and it looks like we actually have a winner of the contest.
Oh, that's right. Now, what was the contest? Madcucks, do you understand how a contest works?
Well, yeah, it depends. But most things aren't contests. They're just, things that are happening.
Everything's a contest. Everything in life is a contest. And
everything in life is not a contest, okay? Some things are not contests.
Well, this one was a contest. It was a legitimate contest with a prize, it was an Overmortal sticker. And I think I have a Luchando sticker kicking around here. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to send this. We're going to try to send both of these things. And we're going to have to send them really far because the winner is in another hemisphere.
Okay, so what was the contest, Joel?
Well, the contest was back in, episode 2? I was drinking a highball the whole time. And it was clinking around in the glass. I was chomping on the ice like a fiend.
Like a lumberjack.
Like a lumberjack. And
I don't know what that means.
I left it open to people to guess what it was that Joel Chaco was drinking. And we had some good guesses in there. Well, the clue was I was mixing it with Coca-Cola.
Not Coca-Cola.
Blue Sky real cane sugar cola. So we had that out there, and the guesses that came in, we had somebody say gin, we had another person say vanilla vodka. Get out of town. Now, hey, it's my phone ringing this time. Normally it's your phone ringing.
That's not going to happen this time.
Now I'm the jackass. Well, I'm over at my parents' house trying to record this time around.
We had the phone
like a
turned
Bernie
off
supporter
at my place.
Didn't pay the bill?
Of course we paid the bill, but we turned it off to save money.
So, yeah, we had somebody guess, what was it? You guessed Jack and Coke.
Yeah, I took the
then
easy
there was
one.
Vanilla vodka was another one that somebody guessed. But the winning one was actually Fernet. I was drinking something called Fernet.
What kind of weird Canadian
Sounds like
bullshit is that?
That ain't Canadian at all.
You should have had a Fireball and then nothing
Fireball
else.
whiskey?
Yeah, Fireball whiskey. It's a great sipping whiskey, especially when you're on podcasts.
You know what? I actually don't even hate Fireball that much. I actually don't mind it in the wintertime for throwing it in the flask. I know that's sacrilege in these parts, but I don't mind it so much. And actually, you know what I really like is Fireball and root beer together. We call it fire beer, and it's delicious.
You're just ruining a perfectly good whiskey by mixing it with root beer like a chump.
If it were actually whiskey, I would agree with you.
It's a whiskey, okay, Mr. Buck.
If you say so.
You won't want to challenge him. He knows his whiskey. He knows his whiskey a lot better. Now you're the clinker. So, yeah, I was drinking a thing called Fernet Branca, and it's something I picked up when I was down in South America. The Argentines got me on it. It's like this medicine-y liqueur from Italy, and it takes about 3 sips to get into, but once you're into it, oh, man, it's fucking
I'll take your
delicious.
word for it.
I love it. I go hunting for it all the time.
I learned about this when I was in Paraguay. Sounds kind of like a humble brag to me.
That was your reference.
Who's a writer?
That
Who's
was
a
a
writer?
Paraguay reference.
I am a writer. I'm writing a book. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Do you still get paid to get? Do you still get paid to write? Because I get paid to write all the time.
I get paid to write a lot. People come and they have me pay. They pay me, and I write my name on like photos and boobs and stuff, but only with consent.
Only with consent.
Oh, whose consent? Whose consent? The person that you're writing on, or Metal Jess's consent?
Both. I've got like a really extensive contract for my signings about what is and isn't permitted and stuff. That way, there's nobody who could come back later and like sue me or whatever.
Is it mostly guy boobs?
No, it's not mostly guy boobs. It's
Wanna
mostly
sign one of these right
hot
here?
babes coming with their big breasts.
Hot babes. Yeah. Have you signed Jess's boobs before? Is that how you got Jess?
Every day. Every day.
Every
I
day you
just
sign her
yeah.
boobs. Now, do you sign it? Do you sign it as Madcucks, Madcucks, or as George? Like, how do you sign Jess's boobs?
I sign it as your beau.
Well, at least it wasn't your bay.
Yeah, bay is stupid. Beau is French.
Okay.
Beau is French. Yes. Did you learn that when you were walking jacketless in Paris?
No, idiot. I learned that from Wikipedia. That's where you learn everything. Wikipedia's.
Oh my gosh.
So we have no comments drawn up for this one. We could have.
I look, man. It's been a crazy day. I had to go to the gym. I had to go have breakfast with my dad. Come back here and get the cough button set up again. That's like a 3-hour process.
Did you set off the lunk alarm?
No, I tried.
Can you please set off the lunk alarm for us and just take a video of it? Getting kicked out. I think we should have a Patreon goal of him being able to get into a better fitness facility that's not Planet Fitness. So I mean, find another one. Maybe it's like $100 a month or something. But if we can get up to that point, maybe we can get you a better fitness regime or a better facility for your fitness.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a Patreon goal where I go into Planet Fitness and do everything I possibly, and someone's going to film me, and I'm going to do everything I possibly can to set off the lunk alarm.
I want that lunk alarm.
What the hell is a lunk alarm?
You're going to have to go back and listen to test episodes, man.
You can only get those in the Patreon, Madcucks. You gotta shell out, man. You can't just like critique us on 3 episodes.
I'm kind of starting to feel like maybe Patreon's a scam because I think mine might be broken because I've got this Patreon and I've seen some other Patreons just skyrocket all the way, even despite like the best efforts to attack them, and somehow mine is just like floundering. I don't really understand it.
Didn't you accuse somebody this week of faking their Patreon numbers by like reinvesting in themselves?
Yeah. So for instance, if you guys wanted a bigger Patreon, you take the $10 you're getting from your own Patreon, right? You'd invest in some bots, and you put that $10 back in your own Patreon. Now you got $20 in your Patreon. What do you do with that $20?
Whoa!
You buy more bots. Boom, $40.
This is sounding like Bernanke economics right here. This is sounding like the Federal Reserve scheme right here. I think he's onto a point. Maybe, Buck, that's how we can create our own money is by just reinvesting in ourselves over and over again and like recycled toilet paper.
It's like a free money machine.
It's basically a free money machine.
You know what?
It just keeps on giving.
My ethics are too high for me to allow me to try and do something like that, but there are other podcasts that I will refrain from mentioning that definitely have done that.
Well, I'm curious how you figured this scheme out. I mean, you seem to have a lot of intimate knowledge of how this works and how it would turn out.
Well, I'm a programmer, so I know a lot about computers. Thus, I know a lot about robots.
Oh.
And I'm also a thought leader and a genius. Like, it doesn't take a genius to figure out.
Now, of course, you didn't figure in, or at least you didn't mention the fact that Patreon's going to get a double dip off of your money if you reinvest it back in. They're going to take 5% off the top, and
At
then
least
5% off of your other one again,
and then 5% off your $20 too.
Yeah. So basically, you're dwindling your money to pay Patreon to give you nothing.
Yeah, well, that's because a perpetual energy machine doesn't exist yet. So neither does a perpetual money machine. There's always going to be a loss of energy. Input, you're always going to have loss on the output.
It's funny because when I was listening to your old podcast, the last thing I thought you were was an economic expert. Your grasp on economics is tentative at best.
My grasp on economics is second to none. Second to none, except maybe Alan Greenspan. That guy's pretty good. Economics is just psychics. They're basically just psychics. They just pull numbers out of nowhere. You might as well weathermen, economicists, psychics, they're all the same. They're just making shit up to make you afraid. Bullshit.
So we're not going to get into the broken window fallacy today, but essentially...
How about the squeaky chair fallacy?
Oh, the squeaky chair fallacy. Are you back in the squeaky chair?
I forgot to get my good chair. Tell you what, you guys talk. I gotta grab my good chair real quick.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Squeaky chairs, they provide jobs for audio engineers. Speaking of which, I've got a posting on Madcast Media. We're looking for a new audio engineer.
What happened to your old one?
I don't really want to go into it.
I think
right
we
now.
should go into it. I really think that is something
I'm
that's
still feeling a little emotional.
emotional.
But basically, it was a mutual thing.
Mutual.
We sat down, we talked about it, and we agreed that we should it was mutual. There was no one side that said mean things to the other one or anything like that. Just basically, we both agreed that it was time to kind of maybe part ways.
And so how come he quit only your show, but is staying on with your nemesis?
I think that my nemesis may have some blackmail on him or something, because they've been friends for a long time, and I'm pretty sure it's a parasitic relationship where one person's feeding off of the other one.
Are you saying then? Are you saying that Dick Masterson has something on Sean, the audio engineer, that may impact his personal and professional reputation at the same time?
Look, I don't want to be a gossip and spread false rumors or anything, but I will say, because if I were to say what I know and think, that it would really hurt some people that I care about, so I don't want to do that. But I will say, yes, that's exactly what's happening.
Okay, so you're going to deny and then actually just perpetuate it. I got it. Okay, that's from your playbook. I see where you're going.
And then I'll disavow my perpetuation.
Gotcha.
There we go.
Gotcha. Yeah,
As
long as you
right.
disavow everything, do you disavow your shitty Sonic drawing? Your shitty 3D Sonic drawing?
That's a great Sonic drawing.
It looks like an abortion of...
It was only half completed. Look, I've only got 17 hours a day to stream and play on the 3D modelers, okay? If I had more time, it would have looked a lot better. But it was an in-process thing. I paused it halfway through, and I didn't get back to it yet because I'm working on my book, and I'm working on... I've got...
Your network?
This new podcast network I'm building.
Yeah.
I got the game show that I'm on.
Right.
I'm making a video game. I'm a really busy guy.
You're a very busy
I'm really
guy.
cutting time out of my day to come hang out with you guys. And what are you doing? You're shitting on me. This is bullshit.
Well, it's funny because you had all that time to make a slanderous video about Dick Masterson and basically implying that he's a rape apologist and that he endorses rape lists and maintains them. It's funny you had that kind of time to be able to work on that project, but not able to bring in the type of projects that actually pay you money, like finishing a book or getting more podcast episodes out.
You need to finish that book.
Your priorities seem a little skewed.
What can I say? Passion projects, they take precedence.
Oh, I hear you on that. This is a passion project. We got $10 so far, $11. Well, $1 goes to Patreon. See, there you go.
I was wondering why that wasn't showing up.
Yeah, no, Patreon takes its hunk of flesh, that I'm fine with that. That's capitalism. You provided me with a platform.
Another thing that people don't realize about Patreon is say you got 10 people contributing $5, right? That should be $50, but Patreon takes their 5%, so you lose a few dollars there. But then Patreon also factors in that some people are idiots and can't put enough money in their bank accounts to pay you at the first of the month. So when that happens, you don't get paid. So they're like, all right, well, instead of $50, we're going to say $40. That way there's some safe overhead. There's not as big of a Patreon drop at the first of the month.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on one second. So is this something that's happened to you, Madcucks? Have you been stiffed by some of your supporters?
Not my supporters, never. My supporters are all really good with their money because they listen to the best financial advisor there is, me.
And they keep their money safely tucked into a man purse.
It's not a man purse, okay? It's a leather satchel bag, all right? just like what Indiana Jones carries. He's a cool guy.
He is pretty cool.
Chewbacca, he carries one. Jack Bauer, these are all really Chewbacca's covered in hair. There's nothing manlier than just being covered in hair. Especially if you don't have any hair on the top of your head.
Indiana Jones carries a whip.
Ask Uncle Buck. All right. Well, let's
get started.
Let's get into these these issues.
Yeah, watch yourself. You say the wrong word, and my lawyers are going to be on you like a hobo on a ham sandwich.
Okay, I am aware of this, and we have put our lawyer, Mr. Recchietta, on standby, so he's going to be he's going to be backing us up if we wade into the weeds, into the legal weeds. But I went first last time, Buck, so I believe it's your go, buddy.
All right. Well, I've got a pretty big one this week.
Uh-oh.
Here's what I don't get. Double parkers.
Oh, double parkers.
So you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do. Madcucks, do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, he's talking about when people park in two parking spaces at the same time.
Doesn't that just bother you, Madcucks, whenever you're driving in your car and you're trying to find a parking spot and there's just somebody that's taking up two spaces?
Well, that's what you meant by double parkers, because
that's real annoying.
I always thought that double parking was like, let's say you're parked on the street side, and then some asshole parks next to you, so you can't get out.
Yeah, I just can't stand it. You know, like you try to go to Walmart and you're driving your car,
or riding your bicycle. You know, sometimes you gotta ride your bicycle. You gotta ride your bicycle to Walmart.
Come on, man! You don't have to double park a bicycle. You can just chain it up to like a shopping cart right by the door.
Who rides a bicycle
you
to
never
Walmart?
You never double park a bicycle, and for that you're all welcome. Everybody out there who's worried about these double parkers, every time you see a bicycle chained up to a signpost at the Walmart, yeah, that's one car that's not double parked when you're trying to find a parking space.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love that. Yeah, keep riding your bike.
I got legs like an oak tree. I mean, these things are they're like big fat sausages that ride my bike so much.
Like a samurai oak tree.
So anyway, that aside, it's always some jerk who's got like a nice, like a hot rod car or a huge truck, like a F350 or something. You know what I'm talking about? A Chevy Silverado, and those are really popular down here in the South. So some guy, now it's one thing if you just can't park, like you're just an idiot and you can't hit the space. Like at least you're stupid and you have an excuse. But
there's no excuse for that. Give it a fucking second shot. Are you fucking kidding me? You can't be bothered to you curve in. It's like, oh, I'm hanging over in that space,
dude.
Oh well. Guess I'm done now.
It's valuable shopping time. You can't just keep asking more time out of this person.
You can't take fucking 35 seconds to pull your car out, wiggle it around, pull it back in.
No.
Well, I mean,
Jesus,
look,
fuck people.
I'm not saying I like it when people are stupid and they can't park. You know, here's one of the things I want to do. Maybe we'll do this for the Patreon, for the show. I want to have some stickers made that say "Nice parking job, ass." Just that. Just that. And
this is a true story.
Can we put it on a bike too?
Yeah, you can put it on a bike too. Right where the ass goes.
You're never gonna have to put that on a bike because bike's never in the way. So this is a true story. At my apartment complex a few years ago, right? this car was a horrendously bad parker. Every time pulled in, hung over, just basically like, oh, I'm stopped. Car's at park. Can't try again. And I got so fed up with it one day. I went into my apartment, and luckily I had some poster board lying around for a project I was working on. And I took the poster board and I wrote, "Learn the fuck how to park," right? And then I drew a picture of how they were parked and how it was bad, and drew a picture of a car parked right. And then I put the phone number to the local driving school, and I put it on their windshield. This giant 2.5 by 1.5
Wow.
poster board on their windshield.
You showed
Get
him.
the fucking message. Learn the fuck how to park. God damn it.
Why didn't you just draw a picture of a cock and leave it?
With your key.
I wanted to educate them. That's what I do. I'm an intellectual, heavyweight thought leader and genius. I gotta lead their thoughts and help them learn stuff.
Okay. I would have just drawn a picture of a dick and been like, fuck you.
He should be opening up a driving school if he's going to be teaching people all these things. I mean,
Yeah, Madcucks Samurai Driving School.
Road rage school. So anyway,
It's not a road rage, okay? It's not road rage.
But
Be a courteous driver. Drive like a samurai.
right.
Like a samurai through traffic when I'm not on my bike.
So I mean, it bugs me so bad. You see somebody in their Camaro or whatever, or their souped up ricer. That's they got
Uncle Buck, that's a racist term.
how so?
Calling it a ricer.
Yeah, how so?
That refers to, it's a derogatory against Asian Americans.
Are you saying Asian Americans only eat rice?
Who are you asking, me?
No, this is a well common fact, okay?
So they got you find some jerk, and it's always whenever the parking lot's full. It's never like my local Walmart. Everyone parks up front, and there's like a million spaces out at the end, and they're like, oh, well, I have to take up. They'll literally park crossways in the space, right, like diagonal across 2 or 3 spaces, so nobody dings up my car, bro. And so
You know what you do when that happens?
you
Just
ding
key
the
'em.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there. There's cameras though. That's the tricky part. So
Those cameras there are no cameras in the parking lots of Walmart. They're all in the front of the building to catch shoplifters. We don't give a fuck about your car out there.
okay.
Well, unless he's got unless you're driving in the trailer, because I think isn't that Walmart's like gift to society? Is that if you come in with an RV of some sort, you can always park in their parking lot and stay overnight. I think that's one of their things. So maybe they have the security cameras in the parking lot to protect those people from any harm that may come upon them while they're trying to sleep in a Walmart parking lot in their RV.
I mean, that does happen a lot. I don't know. But the thing is, like, your car is not so important that it makes you better than me. And so when you take up 2 spaces, like if you did it out at the end where everybody, like where nobody else was parking, that'd be one thing, even though you're trying to use your car to show how big your dick is, which is not. That's like your phantom penis that you've got because you were, oh God, it's driving me so Anyway.
You don't like big vehicles?
I don't mind a big vehicle, but when someone is like trying to show off, like it's a showy big, like I understand if you have to haul something big and you've got an F-350 for that, or if you have to have a quad cab because you need to haul things and you also have to haul your kids, that's one thing. I'm cool with that. I would probably drive that. But whenever you have like your lift kit and your crazy paint job and your loud pipes and you're sitting there and it's always a guy in like a real tree jacket with a dip in and he's going whirr, whirr, in the parking lot revving up so everybody knows he's coming and he's got like his Florida Georgia line bumping.
You hate Florida Georgia line, don't you?
I can't. Anyway, or whatever, his Luke Bryan bumping.
These names mean nothing to you, don't they, Madcucks? I don't even think they get any country music in LA. I think it's banned there, isn't it?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I don't really listen to music. I mostly just listen to my own podcast.
Okay, that's all you have
He was
time
a metal
for.
guy, not
Drive.
anymore.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, these guys who think they're so great because their mommy and daddy bought them a big truck or a nice Camaro or whatever, and they go and they park it sideways, knowing that other people need a parking space. And like, what makes you? I guess people think that money or having a nice thing makes them more important than everybody else. And I should be bigger than this. God, I should be so much bigger than this. But it drives me up the fucking wall.
They're real life parking trolls, man. They're just parking trolls. They're just pissing you off on purpose. They get a kick out of your reaction right now. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with timing. I think they just like, yeah, fuck everybody else. I'm here first. What are you going to do about it? And then,
you know what I want to do about it? I want to park my car so they can't get out.
You can do that. It's a free country.
Well, unfortunately, get parking tickets or that kind of thing. But I would just aside from keying their car, which will get you in trouble if you get caught, I want to do the stickers. I want to have like a sticker that's like a picture of a normal sized caricature of a cock. I mean, like a normal cock, and then an itty bitty one like this big, like just minuscule, like, and this is your cock. Nice vehicle to compensate. Ass wipe. Or just a string of the cathartic string of epithets that I want to let out every time I see it. You see someone parked there, and you're like, especially because it just drives me so I can't even I can't articulate it. I can't even talk right now. Oh my God, it drives me crazy. The mentality of someone who does this, like, oh, look at me, I got a nice car. I'm so much better than you. And it's not that I have a problem against nice cars. It's the people who like want to rub it in everybody's face and think that it means something. You're parking in a double space at Walmart. You're not special. Or I've seen it at McDonald's.
So that's your problem, is specifically people who park badly at Walmart and McDonald's?
Well, not Walmart, because I saw a guy do it.
It sounds to me like your problem is just going to Walmart. You should go somewhere better, like Sprouts or Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
We don't have those things where I'm at, believe me. So, or I saw a guy do it at McDonald's. Like, you're double parking while you get a Big Mac? Really? I just, it's whiny, I know, but God help me. It makes me so angry.
See, you know what the solution is to this issue, all right? Just put a giant magnet crane on top of Walmart, right? And then around behind Walmart have a giant car crusher.
I'll get right on that.
If you park like a dickhead, the lines have some kind of like computer scanner drone that flies around and scans the lines. And if there's a car intersecting the lines, the magnet crane picks up the truck, drops in the car crusher, boom. You get out, you're like, hey, where's my truck? Oh, it's that metal cube right there. Learn how to park, shithead.
Now, I'll tell you something that I did think of, and I wish this would fix so many driving problems. Going through my town on US 21, there's a real 21's always jam-packed with traffic because it's a 2-lane road. They're trying to fix it. But anyway, there's a sign at the intersection that says, do not block the intersection. In plain, if you can read kindergarten English, you can read this sign. Do not block the intersection. And what do people do?
They block the intersection.
They block it. Yeah, they block it. So you should be able to tell.
I'll only be a second.
No, because the light in front of you is going to be another minute and a half, ass wipe. So you got somebody who's like, oh, I'm going to pull up through here to make sure that I get through on my green light.
That sounded like a Madcucks impression right there. That voice.
It's rubbing off on me.
That's a ripoff of my signature dumb guy voice.
Okay. So I had this idea that for when, it's kind of like what Madcucks said, except when you block the intersection because you didn't look ahead to see if the line in front of you was going before you pulled in, there should just be a missile turret that just watches the intersection like this, just back and forth. And if your car is in the intersection for more than 10 seconds, boom, you're gone.
Yeah, but then traffic's gonna be backed up because all these blown up cars on the side of the road.
Not if you vaporize the car.
This sounds like more of a problem than a solution.
If you vaporize the car with the right kind of missile, it's not going to matter.
This isn't Star Trek. We don't have photon torpedoes and phasers and stuff to disintegrate stuff.
It's good for the economy because, like, you'll have to buy a new car afterwards. That creates jobs, right?
Well, you'll be dead. You'll be dead.
Yeah, we'll need more undertakers because people in my town cannot fucking drive.
Los Angeles would just be a big smoking wasteland.
Which actually I have no problem with.
No one here knows how to drive to save their fucking life.
Okay, so this solution sounds fantastic because if we can obliterate LA and open up lanes on the freeway, I think we're okay. So
that's me. I'm done on mine.
When you said double parking, I was totally picturing something else. And
what did you have in mind?
Well, I was picturing like when I park on the side of the road and then some asshole parks right next to me so I can't get in or out of my car and I can't get my car out. And so
they blocked the bike lane? God, I fucking hate those guys.
I hate those bike lanes.
No, not the bike lanes. The guys that park in the bike lane.
Oh, but the cyclists who park in the bike lanes, they're the worst.
No, the cyclists are not parking the bike lanes. They're riding the bike lanes. They're constantly in motion.
They're making it dangerous for cars to park.
They're even flying through the red light.
So I will go back and say this. we were talking about people who just can't park. When my wife was very, very, very pregnant, like 7 or 8 months pregnant with our second kid, some jerk off parked next to the driver's side door while she was inside the store. And I'm going to show you on the camera that the listeners can't see it, but we're looking at seriously about 6 inches of space between their door and her door. And they were in, okay, good enough. Later, bitch. And they were gone.
Did she have to go out through the sunroof?
Well, she didn't have one at the time. But what she did have to do, her 8 months pregnant self, was crawl across the passenger seat to get in. She took pictures of it. She showed me, and I was like, why did you not get in and then just take your door and just crinkle the side of their car up? She's like, because that would damage. I'm not going to do the dumb voice for her. I love my wife. She's like, that would. Plus, she'll kill me. She was like, that would damage my door. And I'm like, we'll repair your door. I don't care. Just wreck that motherfucker.
Costly
God,
justice.
why did you not teach them a lesson?
Have you seen these little like robot Hot Wheels that they go underneath your wheel and scoop up your car and they can drive it in all directions?
Whoa. No.
Have you seen those?
Is this something that is like, does this actually exist, or is it something you saw in the Oculus Rift?
No, this is something that actually exists, shithead. Not the. They're little robot. They're like robot skids, and they're 4 of them, and you get them, and they coordinate under the wheels of a car. They can move it in all directions. I really want one of those.
Sounds cool.
And anytime someone parks like a dipshit, I just want to move their car like as far away as humanly possible.
I want to move it off a cliff. I want to move it.
No, because then I'd lose my little robot.
Well, okay, so
you can get into the robot.
How about this? Event parking. Okay, so at event parking, when you go and park your car and you pay somebody to watch it or to make it so that you can get out, but then that person is, financially incentivized to not listen to you and to park as many fucking vehicles as possible into their lot. Sometimes it's on their lawn, like if they live close to like the arena or something like that, or if it's in a store parking lot or something. Like I had this one time where I went to go see a concert. And I paid the guy. I said, please, for the love of God, don't park anybody behind me because I want to be able to leave early because I was, I didn't want to see Skrillex. That was the lead-in. So we go to this concert, come back, and this motherfucker pinned me in 2 more cars deep. So I had to wait in my car for 2.5 hours for the third person to come in. So the second guy, he was waiting there too, and we were just sitting there, just basically air conditioning blasting in our cars for 2 hours, just waiting for this asshole to come back to his car. It pissed me off so bad. What do you got?
That happened to me once when I went to the Grandfather Mountain Highland Games, which is very specific to them. But the parking there is so atrocious. They have to bus you people in from adjacent cities to find enough parking.
Wow.
I'm not kidding about that. Like you'll park in Boone or Blowing Rock or Linville at the high school.
I'm sorry. I love these names.
Like made-up names.
Yeah. Boone. Can you say that again? I just love that
Boone.
accent. Boone. Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the comments we got, was that people wanted me to say Pinterest because I had to go back and listen to it in the last episode. I guess I thought there was an extra E in there and I called it Pinterest. So I think that was Scott. Was that Scott? Here you go. You can just clip this out. Pinterest. There you go.
I like the way you say Christmas muscle. I don't know why, but it's just the way you
my
say
Christmas muscles are tingling.
Yeah. See, I don't know, man. It's the charm of that. It's the charm of that Southern accent. Like I have an accent. I've been called out on my accent a few times, but it's not as pronounced. It's not as deliberate. People don't catch it as quickly.
I do have that charming Southern drawl, which right now is hampered by a sinus infection, which is why I sound so crappy.
The way he said drawl right there, it almost sounded like Bill Clinton.
I got a Southern drawl.
Southern drawl.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
How you ladies doing tonight? You want to come on down to my new Oval Office?
Let's go get some pizza.
We'll check out your cankles and order in some cheese pizza, if you know what I mean.
All right. So, are we closing the mailbag on this, or so are we closing the bag on double parking?
I was going to tell a story about Grandfather
go for
Mountain,
it.
but
Do
I
it.
can't remember it now. Fuck it, let's go.
All right.
Hey, new Patreon goal. If you we'll say like a if you subscribe to the $10 Patreon,
Ooh, we're gonna have a $10
you can
one?
write in a list of words and I will say them for you.
There you go. That's a good. I'd pay for that. I'll reinvest the $10 back into that just for that.
Yeah, I'll open up. I'll do one person a week can write into the show with a list of words and I will say it. And then if you want your own personalized list, Patreon.
Perfect. All right.
I'm done.
Okay.
What's yours?
I'm gonna bring in since we're in the last week here before Christmas, and by the time we actually launch this, I think it'll be the 23rd. So let's keep on the Christmas theme. And today I'm gonna say, here's what I don't get about Christmas. I don't get Christmas debt.
Oh,
Christmas debt. I mean, it starts with. Would you say Black Friday is pretty much like the start of Christmas debt? Like once it starts accruing?
yeah, but it's not even Black Friday anymore. They started on Thanksgiving now.
They don't even start on Thanksgiving anymore. They start. It's now Black Friday week.
Yeah.
It's not Black Friday if it takes the whole fucking week.
Yeah, but like specifically, like at the Walmart here in Statesville, they start Black Friday at 6 p.m. on Thursday.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I don't understand is that first off, it's Christmas. I know you want to be giving, and I know you want to make people happy and your family. You want to impress each other, but like, why run it up? Because the thing is that what I've noticed about Christmas presents is that a lot of them are just flat out junk, and a lot of them are things you get that you think, oh, this would totally be a great idea, but I mean, you know. South Park had that thing on the economy a few years back where, you know, the people were running themselves into debt by buying Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville margarita makers. And that is the type of thing that I'm talking about, like a Christmas gift that you know is going to get used once, maybe twice. And on top of it, okay, other things that attribute to or contribute to Christmas debt, like if you have to fly to travel, you have to bring the family, bring the kids. I mean, you know, if you got a family of 4 and you're going anywhere remotely far, you're dropping like $3,000 to $4,000 on airline tickets. You're gonna have to pack an extra bag to be able to come back with you because people are gonna give you gifts. So you got to pay for the extra bag, extra baggage fees, and on top of it, it's like people run themselves into savage debt that then they have to pay off in January and February, and they buy things that they absolutely don't need. So like, if you look at the Black Friday, people are storming the gates. They're going in. I've never attended a Black Friday event in my life, but I have worked in an electronics store at Christmas time, and people run themselves up big time. I mean, big time, spoiling the shit out of their kids, buying video games, buying stereos, buying all types of stuff. And it kind of blows my mind about how much people have reckless abandon with their budget at Christmas time, just in the name of Christmas. I have no problem with the idea of giving gifts. Like I actually am a big advocate of the Secret Santa. Especially if you come from a very large family, a Secret Santa comes in very handy because basically then you could set up let's say a limit of $20 to $40, and then all you have to do is you have to buy that one person a gift, and then you only have one person to focus on, but everybody's there together. I mean, really, isn't it all about the turkey? Isn't it all about getting together and just slugging back a couple of spiked eggnogs and just enjoying each other's company? Isn't that what Christmas is all about? Am I wrong, or is it about racking up debt?
Part of my beef with the way Christmas is now is the fact that it's become so commercialized. I know everybody fucking says that, but like the emotional meaning of Christmas has been overshadowed. So you're right. You can't. It's a disappointment almost. You know, we were raised as kids. Everybody loves to dote on kids and buy them presents. So as you grow up, obviously that kind of trails off. You get 2 or 3 presents or whatever. But it doesn't feel like Christmas if there's not some sort of excitement about what's under the tree. You know, what old Santa Claus get you this year, little feller?
And it's a lot of quantity over quality too, I've noticed.
Yeah,
it's a lot of quantity over quality.
You're right. There's a lot of useless bullshit that you get. Like me and my brother, I love him, but we're not like super close, and so we struggle to figure out things to get for each other. So half the time I get him like, I know he likes to cook, so do I. So I'll get him like some sort of pot or skillet or something, or something like some hot sauce.
Hot
We
sauce.
both love hot sauce.
Yeah. Madcucks, don't you? You're a big hot sauce fan, aren't you? You just chug it to stay
I
awake.
I love hot sauce. I sell my own hot sauce on my store.
Oh wow! What is the main ingredient in your hot sauce?
Peppers.
Fair enough. So, what's your take on Christmas debt?
I
though?
feel
What's your
like
take?
the solution to this is I came up with this several years ago. Just stop buying people presents.
Just buy yourself a present.
Yeah. So what I do is every year I take any money that I would normally spend on Christmas presents for people, and I just go take a trip. But then that's kind of shitty because then there's all these people traveling to see their families or whatever stupid nonsense, and I can't get I gotta like sit next to them on the flights. I can't get like extra elbow room. It's really annoying. So during the year, if I see something like, say I'm out there and I see some kind of like racist, homophobic thing, I might get that for you, Joel.
Oh, really? That's quite the charge.
But I wouldn't get it. But I wouldn't get it for you for Christmas. I'd just be like, oh, hey, I found this thing that like demonizes women's and whatnot. Since you're a Trump voter.
I can't vote, by the way. I can't. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm not
vote.
a Trump voter. I just swayed more people to vote for Trump than.
Well, that's right. Hey, you live in Canada, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, I disavow everything I just said, and I take that all back. Do you have like a sofa or something I could sleep on for the next?
What are you coming up to Canada for? Are you coming up
4
here?
to 8 years, maybe?
Oh,
that I could
at least-
kind of crash on for a little while.
I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of couch surfers. I've had bad experiences with the dank smell of patchouli being left on my couch.
Okay, you know what? I undisavow what I just said. Anyway, the point is, if I see something that someone I know would like, I buy it for them. I'm like, hey, here's a just because gift. But then Christmas rolls around, I'm just like, hey, fuck everyone in here.
Ooh, all right. Well,
Oh, hey, I
That's a
just
good
got
plan.
a Facebook message from our boy Stefano.
ooh, our boy.
Yeah, so I'm going
to
to give him a shout out. I asked him if he had any shout outs. He says, quick shout out to Mr. Chaco from our boy Stefano.
That's my boy Stefano. Love that guy.
All
It's
right,
almost like Stefan.
so-
Like Stefan
Stefan?
Molyneux.
Stefan?
Yeah. Like my
about
my other
Molyneux?
boy. Yeah, exactly. So I think we're cool, right? We're gonna have a cruise through this one ad free, correct? I mean, your guy didn't.
Well,
come up with
actually,
anything.
here's the thing. I'm
Are
excited
you
about
gonna
this
gonna
one.
ruin this ad read again by like pulling out on it at the very last minute?
Hey, look, all
It
the
seems
smart
like every
guys
time you
pull
guys
out.
have an ad on this show, you're like, you get about 2/3 of the way through it, and you go, oh, you know what? Never mind.
Well, it's because we found out we usually find some sort of hitch halfway through, and the guy that does our ads, he's kind of shady.
Yeah.
Our salesman. So
Well, and not all of us can draw such huge support from fine leather companies to keep us afloat. We all got to do what we got to do. So unfortunately, we have yet to get ourselves an advertiser that we can feel proud of. But maybe okay, hit me with what you got. What do you got this week?
all right, let me clear my throat here, and I'll get started on the read.
Isn't that what the cough button's for?
Yeah, but that one's on purpose. When it's on purpose, I leave the cough button on. Okay, today's episode
It's
of
a real professional show you guys are running. You're disavowing
Fucking
ads.
Shut up, Madcucks. I'm trying to read.
Not all of us can afford Sean, the audio engineer, and then lose him. Unfortunately, we don't have an audio engineer such as the wonderful Sean. Neither do you, by the way.
Ooh.
That's a low
Okay, so
blow, Joel.
listen, both of you, shut the fuck. I'm trying to read. Today's episode of Hear What I Don't Get is brought to you in part by Putek Gaming. Joel, Putek Gaming has given us a copy of their latest game, which is still in beta. It's called Literally Hitler.
Oh God,
Instead of ad copy, we're just gonna play a quick round.
we're gonna play it. You have a copy of it this time around?
Yeah, they sent me a prototype copy. It's not finished yet. I'll show it to you here. You can see, like, here's the.
Okay.
You can see one of the question cards.
That's a pretty good graphic design on that too. I like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to move the camera and show you the board. Here it is.
So we're
As you see, there's the spaces set up in a circle, right? This is called the board of logic.
the board of logic, and the game is called
Yeah.
Literally Hitler.
It's called Literally Hitler.
We're sponsored by Putek's Literally Hitler. That's just
Putek
clarifying.
Gaming has a. We already said this. So this is the board of logic, and it's set up with spaces that you roll dice and jump to. And as you can see, but I'll describe it for the listeners. It's set up in a circle, right? So here's the circle of logic.
Okay.
Now, I've got a couple of pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and set them down. Now, and Madcucks, do you want to play? I've got 3 pieces here. Do you
Yeah,
want to play?
I'll try it, but I feel like this game looks kind of dumb. I mean, the board's called Logic, so I feel like I should be pretty good at it.
Okay, good. Now, you roll to see how many spaces you move. I'll go ahead and go first. All right, now I get to move 3 spaces.
All right.
All right, now, Joel, do you have any dice on you?
You're gonna have to roll for me, my friend.
Okay, I'll roll for you.
What'd I get?
All right, so you get to move 5 spaces.
I'm already in the lead. Ha ha, motherfucker.
All right, now you just landed on a card draw block. So
Okay.
what you do is now I'm going to draw for you one of the question cards.
Okay.
All right.
Is this like Trivial Pursuit?
No, just wait. There's a question on the card, and it has 3 possible answers. But instead of actually answering the question, you roll the dice to see which answer you get. Okay?
It sounds like the whole game is automated by dice. Okay.
Well, there's other things. There's other things. I'll explain it here in a second.
Sure.
So here's your question. How many genders are there?
Easy. 2. There's 2 genders.
Okay, but and that is one of the possible conclusions that you can come to.
So I got the right answer.
But we're going to roll the dice to see which conclusion you come to.
What'd I get?
Okay, so you rolled a 2, so that would be like 1 and 2 are answer 1, 3 and 4 are answer 2, 5 and 6 answer. So you did get 2, so you get your choice of you get to either have a blue pill or you can draw a status effect card.
Ooh. Well, I hate the blue pill, so I'll go with the status effect card.
All right, now the object of the game is to get 6 blue pills. Okay.
Ah,
so
shit.
we'll draw
What?
a status.
No. Ah.
No, wait. Here, it's all right. It's all right. It's a test
Seems
round. It's a
pretty
test round. It's
shady.
still in beta anyway.
Joel gets a little bit in the lead, and then you're not telling him all the mechanics of the game all of a sudden.
Hold on, just listen. This is how we explain it. So I'm going to draw a status effect card. Now, your status effect card is called Facts and Evidence. Now, here's what happens. There are 3 possible answers to each question, right?
Okay.
There's the liberal answer or the progressive answer. There's a neutral answer, and then there's the conservative answer. Now, if you get the conservative answer, that gets you a red pill.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, if you get 3 red pills, you're out of the game, and you're literally Hitler. All right?
Oh.
First person to get 3 red pills is literally Hitler.
I don't want to be playing the game, but I also don't want to be literally Hitler, so...
Shush. So this card, Facts and Evidence, now like when I go to or me or Madcucks go to answer a question, you can play this Facts and Evidence card, and we automatically get the conservative answer and a red pill
Okay.
because of Facts and Evidence.
Okay.
Okay, so here's your status effect card. I'm going to set it over here for you.
Okay.
All right, Madcucks, I'm going to go ahead and roll for you. And you rolled a 6.
Yes, I am in the lead.
Oh, shit.
Woo. Yeah, I'm
All
ruining
right,
this
my
game.
turn again.
This guy's going to be just jamming blue pills.
All right, I moved 3 again. So, all right, now I'm on the same. I'm up here with Madcucks. Joel, your roll 5.
Rocking it.
Okay, and now Madcucks, another 6.
Yes. Killing it.
All right, now you're on a question. All right, do you want to draw a question card for you? Okay, so your question is blank lives
Black
matter.
Lives Matter. Done. Nailed it.
Okay,
All right.
wait.
I'll
We have
take
to
that.
roll. We have to roll. We have
Why
to
do I have to roll? I know the answer though.
Okay, now here's the problem. You rolled a 5.
Uh-oh.
So your answer is blue. Blue lives matter. So you get a red pill.
This is bullshit. What kind of bullshit game is this? I got a 6. I should be winning. I got the answer right. And you're rolling some stupid dice. This is a stupid game.
Listen, it's just a
No,
game.
this is
Don't- you don't have to
bullshit.
get-
You
okay.
cheated. I can't. You're.
All right, rolling for me. Okay, now I'm up here with Madcucks. So now I get to draw a question card. All right. My question is the best presidential slogan. So Now my options here, I'm going to read off the answers. The options are Feel the Burn, Make America Great Again, or I'm with her.
No.
All right, so I'm going to roll and see which answer I get. Okay, I just rolled a 6. So I get conclusion number 3. I'm with her, which means I get my choice of a blue pill or a status card. I'm going to draw a status card.
This is bullshit. Everybody's getting status cards. I get a red pill.
You guessed wrong. You said Blue Lives
I
Matter.
said Black Lives Matter. I said it right away. I didn't even have to
All right, now
read the option.
here's the status card that I just drew. I drew, what's this say over here? I can't read it. It's kind of smudged. I have to edit this.
The beta testing of the game has smudged cards.
Okay, so here's the card I got, and what I got is virtue signaling. So a virtue signaling card, here's how this works. Like if Madcucks got a virtue signaling card, he could play this and trade his red pill for someone else's blue pill.
I need that card. That should be my card. I'm on the same space as you.
That's virtue signaling.
Is that what you're going with? Or you're choosing that over the blue pill, aren't you?
I might take the blue pill. I'm going to take the blue pill.
Okay.
I'm going to put this virtue signaling card back at the bottom because we're not playing for keeps. We're just playing. Okay, so Joel
I always
Chaco,
play for keeps.
you're going to go. All right, so you're going 4 spaces. All right, now you get to draw another question card. Question card for Joel Chaco. Steve Bannon is blank.
Awesome.
You're what?
Smart, intelligent, awesome.
Racist.
Okay, here's the answer.
Strategically gifted.
Editor of Breitbart.
Uh-huh.
Hate-mongering, anti-Semitic neo-Nazi,
No.
or Trump's chief of staff.
Yeah, he's
a neo-Nazi.
he used to be the editor of Breitbart, and he's not a neo-Nazi. He opened up a
You don't get to decide that though. That's for the
I
dice.
think he's literally Hitler. I think that he loses, right?
No.
All right, so you rolled a 3, which means you get answer number 2, which was hate-mongering, anti-Semitic, neo-Nazi.
That's wrong.
So you get to choose between a blue pill or a status effect card. Which one do you want?
Nobody has blue pills, so I guess I have to take a blue pill so that I can get in line.
I'm going to draw. I want you to draw.
I want the status card. Give me the status card.
Okay.
Again. Fuck your blue pill.
Okay.
Fuck this game.
Right. Now here's your status effect card. This one is called cognitive dissonance.
Big problem. Vote it up.
If we had the facts and evidence card played against someone while they were doing a question, which would automatically make you a red pill, you can play cognitive dissonance and still get out of it.
I guess I'll keep the cognitive dissonance card. That sounds handy.
All right. Anyway, I think that's enough time that we've spent on this. It's a lot of fun. So we'll just move on. But anyway, that's called Literally Hitler. It's by Pootek Gaming. It's not available yet, but I think it'll
Awful game.
I think it'll be
Stupid.
in stores pretty soon. So I'm very excited about it.
I got that answer right.
All right. Well, on that note as well, since it's not out yet, so we're probably not going to get any revenue from it for the first little bit, I'd like to direct everybody to help us support the show by going to patreon.com/HWIDG. That stands for Here's What I Don't Get. And we only really have 2 tiers at this moment, $1 and $5. We're going to add that $10 one for Uncle Buck to start reading off stuff in his drawl. But we really appreciate the support. This is a way that we are going to be able to make the show sound better. We're going to make our internet better so that we can get things out there. And also, as well, we're going to hopefully down the road be able to actually have live broadcasts where you can actually see us and make fun of us in real time.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be great. So every little bit helps. A little goes a very long way, and it's going to get reinvested into the show. So if you like us and you want us to stick around, buy us a beer a month, man. That's all it is. $5. It's Starbucks coffee a month. That's all it is. That's all we're asking. So patreon.com/HWIDG to support Here's What I Don't Get. All right, guests, this is the guest turn now.
We're the guests. He's the host.
Let's get to a real issue, shall we?
Let's bring it up. Let's go.
So this week, brought in. I did a little bit of research on this.
Uh-oh.
If you can see, I got this
got
little
stats?
pamphlet here, stuff.
Uh-oh.
My issue this week is derivative podcasts.
Whoa.
Okay, that sounds oddly specific.
Like the biggest debate?
No, not like the biggest debate, shithead. The biggest debate is the wholly original podcast idea.
It's a derivative of the biggest problem, is it
No,
not?
it's not. One man, two opinions, zero consistency. It's a great show. No, I'm talking about derivative podcasts. I'm talking about people that make podcasts that are just kind of they're doing is that a baby laugh? Only I'm allowed to play baby laugh. This is bullshit. Delete the baby laugh. Delete that. Delete the baby laugh.
No.
We'll have to hire Sean. We don't
have to
delete
hire
things on the
Sean.
show.
I heard he's got an opening on his schedule now, though.
He's a really busy guy. He doesn't have a lot of openings. So, derivative podcasts. Sometimes there'll be a really great, successful podcast that goes out there, makes like 7 million downloads. Everybody loves it, right? And then, one of the hosts turns out to be a real bad dude, and they got to cancel the show. So then some amateurs come.
Wait a minute.
Some amateurs come along, and they're like, "Hey, I bet I could do this," and they make their own podcast. But here's the problem. It's real shitty. Yeah. Instead of bringing in, for instance, this is just an example, maybe this podcast that was really good was about problems. Now we're bringing in a show about issues. Do the same fucking thing, guys.
Oh, I see what this is. This is an
That
attack.
sounds kind of like
An
a little
accusation.
bit like this show, Madcucks. Are you calling us out?
I'm not calling out you specifically. Say, for instance, okay, you gotta just I'm just gonna stick with the same example train. That way, some of your idiot listeners can follow along at home. So you got the successful.
Our idiot listeners.
Yeah, your idiot listeners.
We have very smart listeners.
You got your successful podcast that's about problems, and then it spins off, and someone makes a podcast about what makes you a rage. You know what makes you a rage? Problems. Okay, derivative.
Oh,
Bullshit.
Okay, so the idea of ranting about problems or issues that you patented that's you got that?
Well,
that's,
I tried
that's
to
what you
patent
own?
it, but apparently the U.S. Patent Office doesn't protect intellectual property rights like rants on the internet. Otherwise, I would have had that nailed down, like 15, 20 years ago.
Okay, because like the way I see it I don't know, this particular podcast that you're on, yeah, we call them issues, but they're not always problems. I mean, sometimes it's just a matter of something that we just don't get about something. Am I right? I mean, I don't think we don't call them problems.
Yeah.
Not having time to take naps. Problem. What else did you guys have? Something about kilts? Like man dresses? Stupid.
Oh boy. Impractical clothing.
Impractical clothing. That's what it was. Impractical clothing. That's a problem.
But I didn't call it a problem. I just said I don't get it. I just said I don't understand.
Sounds like it's an
that's what
issue
the
for you,
problem.
though. You got these pants that are too tight. You don't have enough pockets on them. Sounds like a big problem to me.
Yeah, well, it is a problem.
I mean,
Don't you think it's a
people
problem?
are voting on this stuff?
Oh, nobody's voting on this stuff. No, there's no voting. That I could see a problem.
Wait. Nobody's voting on this?
No,
No,
not everything's a
we don't have
contest.
any voting
point.
mechanism.
Yeah. Are you going to disavow that?
What's the scientific experiment
No,
you're
we're
trying
just-
to perform here?
We're just talking.
This isn't a scientific
Yeah.
experiment. We're just
Yeah,
ranting
I
about
think
shit
you
on the
got
internet.
us wrong, man. You're the one who had a show that was all about voting, which you gamed. Apparently, you didn't like it when people were voting for Dick's problems, because that would lead to you having to watch another scene or another minute of Titanic. I mean, you killed a bit that was actually working really well.
That was hilarious.
People were voting for it because they agreed with Dick's problems, not necessarily because of the Titanic. Oh, what do you got
Hey.
there? What do you got?
Hey.
Oh, I remember this.
No, hey, you cannot play this song. That's copyright infringement. This is bullshit.
This was my
is
favorite part of the
bullshit.
show.
This is a bullshit song. This is a bullshit derivative podcast. I'm not gonna stand for it anymore. If you're gonna play this song,
Okay, we don't want to lose our host. Yeah, we don't want to lose
All
our
right, hold
host.
on. I'll stop it.
Sorry, we needed to do that. We had to.
there were no people voting
love-
for Dick's problems. Okay, this is a spoiler for an upcoming video that's coming out. There were only robots.
Your problem
voting for Dick's
sucked.
problems. All of his points on the biggest problem, they were all robot votes.
You hated on French fries. You hated on pepperoni. What the fuck, man?
French fries are bullshit. And I didn't hate on pepperoni on that show. I hated on one of my YouTube videos.
Come
Get
on,
it right, shithead.
man. Yeah, you hated on French fries. Weren't you the one that didn't like steaks or expensive steaks? Huh?
Expensive steak,
Yeah,
that's
well,
a big
I mean-
problem.
Yeah, they're
Expensive steaks are
smoother, they're
delicious.
marbled.
Yeah, but they're only that. Oh my God, come on, guys. They're only delicious because you're paying for them. you pay more money, so you think that they're worth more, but they're not. They're just the same steaks that you get for $15. They're just charging you $45.
The servers treat me better when I buy an expensive steak. The servers are way nicer to me when I start buying the expensive steak.
The servers are always nice to me because I'm so
Yeah.
handsome, and I
They're
tip
flirty,
well.
get more smiles. So I will say this: we're trying to argue for expensive steaks from a guy who drinks cheap cinnamon whiskey.
Hey,
You know,
Canadian cinnamon whiskey, by the way.
Yeah, and it's delicious.
it's not delicious; it's garbage.
You're
If you want
garbage.
delicious whiskey, it's got to have Glen in the name. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
You don't like Jameson's?
I drink
Jameson's taste like
I
metal.
drink Jameson
to me.
sometimes, but Fireball, it's just a better whiskey.
A better whiskey.
Jameson's leaves a metal taste in my mouth. Bushmills is not bad. That's an Irish single malt.
All right.
But if you're gonna drink good whiskey, man, I mean, now some people are into bourbon. Bourbon's okay, but you got to have like some top shelf scotch, man. You got to have something with a little bite to it. That's my jam, dude.
I just got into the whiskeys like recently, like in the last like 2-3 years, and man, was I missing out.
Now look, now Madcucks is not going to agree with me here, but you need to go with something like Glenfiddich
Oh yeah.
or Glenlivet.
Yeah.
Glenlivet's
It's
good.
Glenlivet, shithead.
Glenfarclas.
See, I love. I actually here in Canada, we're real big on the rye whiskeys, and
Pendleton 1912. That's a Canadian rye whiskey.
I really like this one that they put out last year called the Canadian. It's Crown Royal put out one called Northern Harvest Rye, and it ended up winning a bunch of awards for best whiskey in the world last year. But then they found out afterwards that really like the guy who wrote that up and said that it was the best whiskey in the world, I think he was like getting a free paid trip by Crown Royal to come to Canada to taste it, and so it was a little bit of a tainted thing. But I actually really like that whiskey. It's
Crown Royal's okay,
Yeah.
but I mean it's on par with like Jack Daniels. It's
well, this particular one though, it's like a $38 bottle that tastes like a $100 bottle. So I like it.
okay, whatever. You can be wrong about whiskey.
But are we okay? So you think that this is a derivative podcast? Is that what we're getting at here? Are you saying that this is a derivative podcast? Because I could say that there's a lot.
Are
of
you
them
saying
out
that
there.
we ripped you off?
Look, I don't want to point fingers. I'm just saying there's a lot of like things that look like other things, and if the house is black, then you should paint it or something.
Well, it's okay. So let's just say then, what's your take on Amy Schumer and the accusations of her joke thievery?
Women can't steal jokes. Women are funny. Deal with it. Like she's not stealing jokes. She's
Refurbishing them?
what is it? It's redistribution of humor. That's what Amy Schumer is part of. She takes humor from sometimes more successful but undeserved comics, and she distributes it to herself. Because she deserves it. She's an
aggregator
funny and sexy lady. I cannot wait to see her in the Barbie movie.
Oh,
In one of those like real tight, like skin tight bikinis. Not that I want. Sorry, I take like not to objectify her, but man,
you are totally objectifying
she
her.
is.
That
She's
is
just a very very attractive woman. Not just physically, but also her personality. I mean, intellectually, she's just incredible. The way she talks about her vagina makes me rock hard every time.
Well, this is disgusting.
all right. Okay.
Just thinking about her. I gotta.
Do we need to take a break for you? Do you need to go and take a?
I've wedged myself here in the table.
Just don't go imitating that San Diego Chargers security guard. That we don't need on this show. I don't know if you saw it, but I'll put a link in the show notes.
that man, that's a bad man. He was objectifying those women cheerleaders.
Damn right he
And
was.
he should be punished. We should fire him from that
Fired.
job. We should fire him
Yeah.
from any future jobs. We should go after his family. We really need to ruin his personal, professional reputation.
I think it's already ruined. Fuck.
For women everywhere.
All right, Madcucks, what else you got to say about it?
Well, so there's, I know you guys are kind of taking this personally, but there are some other podcasts that just remain nameless, and it's just basically like ranting about rage topics. They have dipshit callers call in. They call in for 69 seconds, and these people are like, I gotta stumble over the words and talk about some stupid shit, and then like, people come in and they talk about their families. Like, hey, shithead, who's talking about families in the very first goddamn episode of his podcast? Madcucks. Derivative. Bullshit.
So he's got a problem with the Dick Show.
Have any derivative podcasts submitted themselves to your network?
No, only original content has been submitted to my network. Other than one guy, he just took the dipshit Maddox Lost song and put it on loop for 35 minutes and submitted that as a podcast. That's not a podcast, shithead.
I'd subscribe to that. Would you? I'd Patreon the shit out of that. What about you, Andre?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd throw some money that guy's way. I mean, especially if it's like once a week that I get to like remind myself that Maddox lost and Maddox sucks.
Hey,
I'd
I
pay for
didn't
that.
lose. It's not a contest, all right? I'm doing just fine, all right?
I beg to differ when I go to Patreon and I see your former co-host is now pulling in. What is he? He's pulling in 5 digits a month, whereas you're meddling in the it's 14K for Dick. And what are you at now? Have you cracked the 300 mark yet? Like, we're catching you.
I was above the 300 mark, and then I kind of dropped below it.
Yeah, because people didn't have their money put aside.
Because,
On purpose.
well, I think
Patreon's
that it may
fault?
have something to do with the fact that, like, I only release a video every 3 months or something.
Right. And you've already got yourself a sponsor in Kendall and Hyde. So, you don't really need it.
Yeah, visit Kendall and Hyde /Madcucks and use promo code Madcucks to get free shipping. It's expedited shipping. You should get your leather belt or whatever wallet in about 4 months instead of 6 months.
That's the deal.
Okay, so I can't get it in time for Christmas.
Just
correct?
in time for Easter.
Next year.
Just in time for Easter.
Your festive Easter belt.
Easter debt. That'll be another one. Okay, well, Uncle Buck, are we good? I guess we're gonna have to agree to disagree here. You believe that we may be derivative, or that Dick Masterson and the Dick Show might be derivative. I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
I never specifically said that. I just want to point that out there.
You can't have slander and libel and all that stuff.
The legal teams are on both sides are just chomping at the bit to get involved here. So
This is more implication than anything.
fair enough. Okay, so he's implying.
Yeah, so
Lying and implying.
yeah, derivative podcast, biggest issue, voted up, people.
Uncle Buck, have at her, buddy.
Okay, so along with the Christmas theme, I told everyone I was bringing it in. Here's what I don't get: the Santa Claus myth.
Ooh.
Fight me, motherfuckers!
Ooh, you want it done?
I
think
beef.
Uncle Buck's just mad because he kind of looks like Santa Claus.
Yeah, he's ripping off my style. That's a derivative style, motherfucker. I invented the fat guy with the beard and long hair thing.
You
Me
invented
riding
it.
around in my sled with my North Carolina deer.
His toboggan. You're riding around in your toboggan.
Yeah. My toboggan and my toboggan, the one on my head, are both red. Giving away gifts of knowledge to people and my sexy southern drawl. Giving away my charm.
Did
to everyone.
Santa
No,
Claus have a southern drawl?
if he were any good, he would. Now, here's my thing. It's one thing to have like this figure that everyone associates with giving gifts or whatever. It's a fun game. But my beef with it is telling children that it's real.
I wholeheartedly agree. We should be as mean and cruel to children as humanly possible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to the world, shithead. Get used to it.
Yeah, that's one thing that we can agree on, Madcucks. Children should be disappointed at every turn and have their lives crushed at all, just their hopes and dreams abolished at all times. No, I'm kidding. So here's the crux of my beef. There's so much. This Santa versus Jesus thing, oh God, you know how I feel about the war on Christmas. You know how I feel about Christmas commercialism, but we tell our kids a handful of myths as a kid. The first one is Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, all those. But then guys like me who are Christians, we also tell our kids about God and Jesus, right? Then all of a sudden, your kid grows up and he finds out that the Tooth Fairy is really mom and dad sneaking into their room, putting money under their pillow, or in our case, not, because I'm greedy.
Wait, so you just steal teeth?
You know, mom is going to put the teeth in a scrapbook. You know that's what's coming. It'll be a scrapbook full, and the teeth break when you close the book enough. So you're going to have a scrapbook full of broken bags of teeth. So there's going to be that. That's not creepy at all. And locks of hair, and clippings, and
This is sounding like Comet Ping Pong all of a sudden.
yeah. So that's not creepy at all. So, but you kids find out when they wake up and catch you sneaking through their room that elf on a shelf isn't real, that you're trying to sneak money under their pillow, the tooth fairy's not real, when you're the one hiding the eggs out in the yard on Easter Sunday, the Easter bunny's not real. They're going to find out that Santa Claus isn't real eventually, and they're going to take this line of logic that everything my parents tell me that's fun is fucking bullshit.
Oh, so then the next one is, of course, they're going to believe that Jesus isn't real.
They're going to say, well, if the Easter Bunny was a lie, if Elf on a Shelf was a lie, if this was a lie, if that was a lie, if Elmo was a lie.
Yeah, the Santa myth, that one stings. I do remember that one. And it wasn't even from my parents that I found out about it. It was from other kids at school.
And they're going to think it's a lie for the same logic. They're going to say, people tell their kids about Santa to get them to behave. Right? So, that myth is just to keep me in line. Well, what about this God character that has these things that we should or shouldn't do? These commandments, these moral oughts that are handed down to, well, he's just this is just mom and dad trying to keep me in line. The preacher, society trying to keep me in line. Not fucking real. And if he weren't real, if I didn't think he was real, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Yeah, sure, motherfucker, he's not real. But he is real. At least I think he's real. And so, I mean, based on my experiences in life, atheists are going to come out of the woodworks now and come after me. That's fine. I don't give a shit about that. But, and you can't, this thing is so ubiquitous, you can't get away from it. So I take my daughter to Walmart, and every motherfucker and their brother is coming up, what's Santa Claus getting you for Christmas, little girl? And I want to slap them across the mouth like, nothing, motherfucker. Moms and dads gets present. Don't plant this idea in my kid's head. But it's too late. It's too late.
Oh, wait. Are you saying that Santa Claus isn't real?
Oh.
Look, Madcucks, maybe it's time we had a little sit down and
yeah.
we got to have a chat, buddy.
Just because you're not buying gifts for people doesn't mean that. Oh,
no,
boy.
every year I get like a gift in my house that I didn't put there. That's Santa Claus.
I think.
Ooh, that might be somebody sneaking that in there.
So I know you might have beef with your parents, but maybe they're still trying to show you some love, buddy.
Yeah, does Santa bring you soup?
Yeah, he brings me some of the best soups. It's all wrapped up. It's usually like a.
Does Santa ever check your mail for you? Bring you your correspondence?
I think we figured this out.
No, Santa doesn't. Santa really not real, guys?
Man, this is like a bad sitcom Christmas special. We have to break it to him.
I'm afraid I got to break your heart, little buddy. Your little Armenian heart.
This is the worst week ever. Christmas is like 2 days away, and you're telling me that Santa Claus isn't real?
I feel bad now.
Charlotte has a podcast. That Santa's not real.
How heartbreaking.
Yeah,
I feel bad for bringing this in now, man.
Hang on, little buddy.
Gosh,
Hang on.
What a turn. What a twist.
Jeez. Well, here's the thing, though. Back to your reasoning. I mean, when kids get that kind of harsh reality that the parents were in on it all along, I think it's actually beneficial. Because if you're going to have that epiphany, that moment of, oh, shit, everything I know is a lie, that's going to benefit you later in life. Because if you can stop believing, if your parents were lying to you about Santa Claus, then maybe your parents aren't right about everything. So your parents might be actually wrong about things. So that opens the door for you. And if your parents are wrong about things, maybe the police are wrong about things, the government's wrong about things, your teachers are wrong about things. One of the funniest things I remember was it went in a progression. So Santa Claus isn't real, which then obliterates Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. But then I remember, like, all the time in school, the cops would come in and talk about, like, marijuana as, like, the most addictive, terrible, problematic drug that was out there. And then when I finally tried it, it was like another Santa Claus isn't real moment. It was kind of like oh, really? This is it? This is what you've been warning me against, and I'm not going to turn into a piece of shit.
I have to bust you on this one. There's an easy solution for this. Tell your kids the fucking truth.
About marijuana?
Tell your kids the truth about everything. Don't handle your kids with kid gloves. Teach them about the real world.
Okay, but the real world, you are teaching your kids about the real world, because the real world lies to you all the fucking time. Try 98% chance of Hillary winning from the Huffington Post. How about the Russians did it? The media lies to you. Everybody lies to you. That's a good lesson. Trust no one.
Yeah, but mom and dad aren't the media. Mom and dad aren't the police. Mom and dad need to be the one telling you, hey, look, listen, little bastard, you little resource draining motherfucker. I am the only person in this world that gives a shit about you. Me, and maybe the other one that your genes came from. Out of the two of us, at least one of us you need to be able to trust, and at least it's me. So I'm going to tell you the straight shit. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust. And when you get old enough that you can make your own decisions, stop trusting me. How about that? But I promise you from day one, I will teach you to the best of my knowledge what's right and true. I'll try and feed you only red pills for the rest and black pills for the rest of your life.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, is you're assuming that, like, these parents are doing it in their best interest, like, that they're actually, like, good parents. Whereas, I mean, look at Madcucks.
Yeah.
Look at how he was brought up. I mean, he was brought up by, like, you know, parents that apparently he didn't get along with very well, other than soup bringing. So, you know, like, I mean, I wouldn't assume that his situation would be that beneficial. His parents wouldn't be honest with him. He wouldn't trust them that much. What was your major issue with your parents, Madcucks? Why did you have such a big issue? Well, obviously they didn't come to you about the Santa thing, so that's a start.
Well, you know, my mom was just really mean to me all the time, pretty much. I mean, nothing was ever good enough for her. Like, I'd draw a picture of a fire truck or whatever, and I'd bring it home to her, and she'd be like, this fire truck has too many wheels, Maddox. This is so bad. I'd be like, you going to put it in the fridge? And she'd just set it on fire, put it in the shredder.
This explains a lot about that animosity towards child drawings.
Bring home my report card. It'd be all A's. Maybe I'd get a B in math or whatever. And she'd be like, Maddox, this isn't good enough. Look, you need to get all A's in everything. You need to be a math major and go out and make lots of money. Like, I would come home from work at a telemarketing job. I'd be like, oh, Mom, I worked a 14-hour day. Could I have some soup? And she'd be like, no, you should be working 16-hour days, Maddox.
If you've got the ability to draw up some stuff here, do you remember that one time where Madcucks brought up his telemarketing job, and they dropped that telemarketing drop? It only played once. Did you ever hear it?
Maybe I'm not so bad anymore.
I've got it right here. I'm going to play it right now. Yeah, this is it right here. Anytime that he mentions telemarketing, this is what they would have to play.
It's really shitty. Telemarketing company? I worked for one for 9.5 years. You know what, dickhead?
That was one of my favorite moments from your show that you killed, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You killed it.
Real funny.
You killed it.
Real funny, guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I worked at a telemarketing company for 15 years. It was the only one of two jobs I've ever had. Yeah, laugh it up. Laugh it up.
All right, well, listen, that's the crux of my argument for the Santa thing. Don't lie to your kids. Don't teach your kids bullshit, because then they can't trust you when you're telling them the truth.
Fair enough.
And especially when they're teenagers. God, teenagers do such stupid shit. You need your kids to be able to trust you. When you tell them, like, hey, don't stick your dick in crazy. I wish my dad had taught me that.
You should just not stick your dick in anything when you're a teenager. Teenage sex is really lousy.
I think you're underrating it, man, because teenage sex is pretty awesome.
No, I'm pretty sure it's pretty bad. I mean, I never had any, but I'm just gonna go. Yeah, it would not have been good. You need a real experienced lady.
Experienced lady. Well, speaking of experience, can I use that as a segue for my issue this week?
I'm going to say one more thing. I mentioned in another podcast that I wrote a song called Surface to Air Present for Santa. Just to cap the episode, I'm going to play that on the outro. Go for it.
Awesome.
Go.
All right. It's funny because, yeah, we brought up about sex and we brought up about lying to people for their own good. So I'm actually going to bring in as a problem today one that might be controversial. We'll see. Birth control. I'm bringing in birth control.
It's a big solution. Vote it up.
Well, see, it's not that simple. So here's what I don't get about birth control.
You don't know how to put on the condom?
I know how to put on a condom.
It could get kind of hard.
You need to be hard to be able to put it on.
The banana keeps getting mushy.
No, birth control. I grew up Catholic, but that doesn't make me anti-birth control. Yeah, condoms are cheap. I don't understand why people bitch and moan about it. I don't understand how so many accidents keep happening, apparently. I mean, we've got these birth control methods that have like 99.5% efficacy, and yet somehow we have to have this massive amount of teenage pregnancy and abortions that come out of these quote-unquote accidents.
It's because they're teenagers. They're bad at having sex.
They're so bad at putting on the condom, apparently. But no, I think that when we talk about lying to ourselves, I think that the birth control topic is one of the things that we have lied to ourselves the most about. And what I mean by that is that first off, I don't know if you remember the name Sandra Fluke. Does that name ring a bell to either of you guys? Sandra Fluke?
She was involved with Planned Parenthood, wasn't she?
No, she was the one who spoke in front of Congress, I believe, because her university did not provide free birth control, right? She did not provide free birth control. Now, here's the funny thing about birth control. It's not that fucking expensive. If you can afford to go to McDonald's with your, like a few times a month, you should be able to afford birth control.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that, first off, condoms are cheap. Condoms are readily available everywhere. You know, if you're not a big fan of condoms, if you don't like the feel of condoms,
sure don't.
Fine. Neither do I.
If you want a good deal on some condoms, check out my Madcucks box. You can get 100 non-lubricated condoms as part of my Madcucks box. Yeah, non-lubricated.
Why would you sell non-lubricated condoms?
Non-lubricated sounds like your girlfriend. The thing about condoms is that they're readily available. Both sexes can buy them. I mean, when it comes to birth control, men don't have a lot of options. I mean, yeah, we can get a vasectomy. Apparently, that doesn't always work. Although I don't buy it half the time. When somebody's had a vasectomy and their wife gets pregnant, maybe you should probably get a paternity test. Just saying.
Yeah.
But
I know a couple that happened to.
Well, when it comes to birth control, here's the funny thing. We should be actually teaching our youth, we should be teaching our men and women about, timing in the month. You should know when those 4 to 7 days, that window of the highest fertility rate is happening.
Look, I got a flaw with your logic right there.
What is wrong with it?
Look, man, when the moment strikes, you can't always choose that.
Sometimes, give me a break.
Sometimes in the heat of the moment, it doesn't matter what day it is. You gotta take it to Pound Town.
Man, oh man. Okay, you know the consequences. Your brain does not shut off completely.
It shuts a lot off.
Okay, then fine. The next day, go get the fucking morning after pill. I don't give a shit about that one. But the thing is that I have a funny thing about the funny thing about condoms is that it's pretty much the only option that men have. Women have several options, and when it comes to the pill, I have a big fucking beef with the pill.
Okay, what's your beef?
A big fucking beef with the pill. First off, the pill fucks with their hormones. Yep. So if you meet with a woman who's on the pill, what it's doing is it's tricking her body into thinking that she's already pregnant. So when she's already pregnant, a woman is actually going to be attracted to a different type of person. Because biologically speaking, your body is sending signals. When you're not pregnant, it's sending out signals to try to find somebody opposite to you, somebody who's going to have a different mix for your genetic hardware. But if your body thinks it's pregnant, you're actually going to be more attracted to people who are more like you, because what your body's sending is that signal to say, we need to have more of your family around you to protect you. So it sends this weird signal to your brain, and it fucks up with the women that way. Secondly, it fucks with everything. So the hormones in the birth control pill, they don't just stay in the woman. They actually go elsewhere. So they actually go onto they get flushed into the system. So they go into the rivers, they go into the water system.
I read about
it's
that.
a massive problem. Yeah, it's a huge problem we never talk about because it's taboo, because you don't want to upset the Sandra Flukes of the world that might actually have to have some fucking repercussions to their actions. So the birth control pill, what it does is it actually sends hormones into the environment that aren't supposed to be there. So when you got Alex Jones freaking out about
Fish.
turning our frogs gay, it's kind of true that they're actually finding that amphibious creatures are actually switching their their biological sex because of these hormones that are in the water.
This sounds like somebody watched Jurassic Park one too many times.
God, great minds think alike. Damn it. We both went there.
But that's so you know, there's a hormone issue, and there's actually other options besides condoms that are hormone free. So for instance, like there's ones that definitely have the hormones in there. One of the ones that I remember was like the Nuva ring, and apparently that one like is now getting, you know, disavowed because it's unsafe for everybody. And I'm for that. Like, you know, I'm fine with that one. But the IUD has been around for forever, and the copper ones don't involve any hormones whatsoever. So when anybody brings up to me about the cost of birth control, like, I mean, you know, like Hobby Lobby gets in shit because it doesn't provide birth control to its employees, or there's insurance companies that are forcing like actual like monasteries to have birth control covered in their plans where they don't need. So
I have one thing as a caveat. What about people who would prefer birth control that prevents sperm meeting egg altogether?
how so?
Because they consider that conception, right? When
They consider sperm heating egg
conception. Like when that cell that when those DNAs combine, there's a lot of groups that consider that to be the little human life, that one cell.
Okay.
There's a lot of like the IUD doesn't prevent ovulation, does it?
I thought that it pretty much blocks the sperm from getting there, but
I mean, if it does, great.
Okay, so if you're looking at that, there's the cervical cap, right? That blocks the sperm from getting to you. There's the diaphragm that blocks the sperm from getting there.
Sponge.
You got the sponge, right? I think that what the IUD is it's like a little T, and it floats around in there and just knocks those fuckers right off. But
I don't know if that's how it works.
You're talking about your spaceship to fly around in the womb,
Like an X-wing or a T-wing?
That's pretty much the way it works. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's like asteroids, but it's.
But you're talking about cost, and a friend of mine, she just had her IUD replaced, right? Mm-hmm. And so you go into the doctor's office, and it's like, oh yeah, this is covered by your insurance, but then they want to give you an ultrasound to make sure that it's in the right place, and that's $150 that your insurance doesn't cover, and then they want you to come back in 6 weeks so they can check placement again. And even if they just do the string check by putting their hand up in your hoo-ha, that's $171. Like,
Damn, I wish I got paid $171 to finger bang a chick.
this whole process cost my friend almost $150, almost $450 just to get a little fucking X-wing spaceship in there to knock shit around.
Well, I've got something on that. Okay, so an IUD, the average cost of an IUD is between $80 and $160.
Right.
Okay, that's if you're not insured. Now, the average lifespan of an IUD is 3 to 5 years. So if you break it down, even if you take that $160 price, and you break that down to a monthly cost over a 5-year period, that's only $2.67 a month. For
But
your
they don't
birth
let
control.
you pay $2.67 a month. You
but-
have to pay it all. It's like your car insurance. You know, you can get that discount if you can fork out the $600 up front, but a lot of people can't afford that. They need to make birth control more affordable.
$160 is not a $2,000 upfront. And I'm sure that there's going to be some charities out there that would be more than fucking happy to finance your $160 loan. But we're talking about $160. Okay, don't get me wrong. $160 can be an extra big cost for some people. But if you're going down the road and you're going 5 years, that's a pretty decent investment. And on top of that, I mean, shit, man, like really expensive pair of basketball shoes costs more than $160. You know, so
Yeah, but
we
you're not
spend that
fucking a
money
pair of
all the
basketball
time on
shoes.
shit that we don't need. Well, I'm just saying, man. Like, I'm just saying, like, well, some people might, but I'm just saying that $160 is a lot cheaper than an abortion.
Is this Canadian dollars?
It doesn't matter.
Because this price seems really low. I literally just told you a story about someone who was having to pay almost $300 to have it done.
But they
you
had
tell me
that
160
covered.
is the average? No, that was not covered.
No, but the ultrasound wasn't covered. But you said that the IUD was covered.
No, but then the second checkup was not covered, so it ends up being $300.
Do you know what's a lot more expensive than that? Like a lot more expensive than all of this combined? Having a kid.
All right, play the baby laugh sound effect. Baby's big problem. Vote it up.
Having a kid is way more expensive. Having an abortion is more expensive. I'm saying is that you leave an IUD up in there and you got 5 years of free for all fucking
Until you knock it loose.
Well, I mean, yeah,
look,
exactly.
some
you
of
can,
us-
I guess, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, like, it doesn't factor in for STDs, but Jesus Christ, man, it's not that expensive.
Some guys are jackhammers, and I mean, I'm not gonna point any fingers.
I've always been worried that if I had sex with a girl with an IUD, that her little X would get stuck in my pee hole.
Or you burn it off with one of those lasers.
That's how you pull them out. That's how the doctor pulls it out. No, my biggest problem is probably with the birth control pill. I really can't see a fucking benefit to that fucking thing. It's fucking poison for our environment. It's poison for our gender relations. Like, I mean, women who are on it, they gain a lot of weight. They're moodier. There's no benefit.
The birth control pill is not just used for birth control. It's also used to regulate your cycle.
Now, that is a big benefit.
There are some ladies have really bad cycles, and it helps even it out.
Okay, so that's why we should poison the rivers and
Man, fuck fish. What are fish doing? They're not doing anything to move us
we
forward.
eat the fish and it gets into our system. So I mean,
No, fish is gross. No one's eating fish.
we're eating fish and it could be going down the system. It could explain why we're getting so many goddamn cucks out there. It could explain why we got so many beta males that are androgyny. It could be explaining why we're having so many. This explosion of transgenderism all of a sudden. It could be explained by the hormones
on this one.
that are in our system.
This is a more goofy conspiracy theory than those conspiracy theories in that show Asians of S.H.I.E.L.D. where the fish oil pills are turning people into superhumans and whatnot.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about like BPA gets the blame a lot, but I'm saying is like, listen, man, like these are straight up hormones, and they're getting into the water, and they're getting in with the fish, and it's gotta go down the stream somewhere. And so, I mean, why not? How is that so far fetched?
How about this? Dig a hole in your backyard and tell your wife to piss there. That way, no fish get
It's
hurt.
still gonna go into the water system. It's still gonna fall through the water table.
This is why we need more rockets.
Yeah.
Women can pee in a rocket and we fire it into the sun.
There you go. Well, see,
But then the sun might get too much estrogen and
And then that would kill us.
you'd start having hot
Yeah.
flashes and whatnot, and we'd probably all die.
there was a study on this. There was an actual study on this. The Thames River in London, okay? That it is so contaminated with these fucking hormones that when they looked into actually what it would cost to clean these out, it was going to cost like $3 billion
jobs.
or £3 billion a year. That's just jobs.
That sounds like economic development to me.
It sounds like a broken window policy. No, this is a serious issue. And I mean, really, I think that it's one of those ones where I really wish we could talk about it without getting
mauled by a
accused
dog?
of a. There's a dog back there. Yeah. I came to my parents' house to record this to try to be in a quieter environment because my kid's not in preschool this week, but that backfired. But no, man, I'm telling you, this is a big issue that I wish we were able to talk about. Birth control pill is kind of a piece of shit. Fuck the birth control pill. I'm pro IUD. I'm pro condom. Whatever. But I mean, at the same time, if we're gonna throw hormones in the mix, it's a big fucking deal. And I mean, you know, we look at it could be also it could also be a cause for breast cancer, ovarian cancer.
All right. I am going to bring in my own little beef here with the pill. And that is women can skip them.
Yeah, Yeah, they can miss
or
it.
forget them.
Yeah.
Because my wife is on the pill now. What's that face about? Like, fuck it.
He's blaming you for poisoning the water hole.
Good. Come drink my water, bitch. So anyway,
Only if you ferment it first.
shh, we don't talk about that on the show. Anyway, so yeah, my wife's has been on the pill since before we got married, and it helps regulate her cycle. That was a big thing for her, but like, she's a busy lady, and sometimes she forgets, and then she's like, and then I mean, I'm a virile guy. We've made 2 kids, and so she'll be like, oh, I've missed my pill the past 3 days. And I'm like,
3 days?
yeah, that's a scare, dude. That's a scare. And it's like, oh no, I don't. Because listen, I love my kids. I love them to death, but I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done too.
My first kid, Annabelle, she's an angel. She's a sweet girl. My son, Ian, is from hell. He is a terror on wheels, and I love him to pieces, but God, I'm so done. So when she was like, I missed my pill the past 3 days, and I was like, and I sure enough smashed it one of those. Oh my God.
Okay, so here's the thing too. The male birth control pill, where is it? Why isn't it here yet? And male birth control has not come around yet.
They had one.
And one of the excuses that the feminists lobby says is that they can't trust men to take it. Boom!
Okay.
Women miss it all the time.
You got a guy like our boy Stefano who's got a swinging dick, and you're going to give him a pill that makes sure he's not going to get hit with a paternity suit, and he's not going to take it. Fuck you.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Exactly.
Now they did. There's some sort of male hormone-based, I think it was hormone-based birth control that they put out there, and feminists wrote this article about men wouldn't take it because it made them feel bad, and I'm like, bullshit. Either it was
projection.
No, the truth was that it was killing your sperm count even when you were off of it.
Yeah.
It was
I wouldn't
like
take it.
chemically sterilized.
Honestly, that like any hormone based thing, I'm out. But they actually did bring up another thing, and it's on the way, and it's called I think it's called Vasal gel or Vasal gel, and basically it's a gel. I
think it's called Vagisil.
Vagisil. No, it's this gel that they actually inject into I think the vas deferens, and it blocks the sperm from getting through. It's like a kind of a glue, and basically it can be removed, but
that's the
they
problem.
put that in there.
That's why whenever I have sex with a lady, I always plug my pee hole
In the ocean. You do it in the ocean, right? Because the salt gets in
No,
there.
you
and
don't
kills
do
it
it in the you don't do it in the ocean because it dries everything out. You do it in like a bed, like a normal person.
I have shagged in a public pool before. It does kill the lubrication.
So that's my issue. I want letters. I want letters. I
All right,
have at her.
It's open season,
want
motherfuckers.
'em.
Hit him.
Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on, because condoms and IUDs, those should be the only 2 legal options.
Look,
And
man.
the timing method, pull-out method.
Here's I got one more thing about the pill. If you have to go on antibiotics, like if you get an infection, you have to go on antibiotics. That cancels your pill out.
Yeah, you know what you should probably not be doing? Having sex with a woman who's sick enough to be on antibiotics. Might be a good idea.
Like my wife got a sinus infection. We're real bad to get sinus infections, so she had to get an antibiotic for a sinus infection. Now I can do the downstairs work without having to catch her sinus infection. So we were good to go on that. But she was like, "Look, the doctor said this could cancel out the birth control." So then we had to go get some raincoats, and boy, those things suck. They sure do.
Oh, they really suck. I'm still waiting to go to the Dr. Snipper. In the new year, I'm going to be going to go and make it permanent. Because I don't want to have a second kid or a third kid.
I was going to do the same thing, and people talked me out of it. Yeah, some people she was like, our babies are growing up, and what if we decide later down the road that we want to have another one? And I was like, yeah, people, and then not just her, like people that we know were like, maybe you shouldn't close the door. I mean, I was like, I don't want to be raising kids in my 60s, man. Fuck. You never know how you're going to feel in 10 years. Like in 10 years, I might be fucking dead.
Well, Madcucks, why have you not gotten the Dr. Snip yet? Because you hate children, and you love sex.
Yeah, I hold it all in with the force of will. My force of will keeps ladies from getting pregnant.
You can will your sperm to stay put.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty much.
amazing.
When they cut off your balls, do you still like shoot?
They
out
don't
anything,
cut off
or
your
is it
balls.
No, I'm pretty sure they.
That's
they
not
cut
how it
off the
works.
balls. That's why it's called the snip.
No.
Hey, Joel, have you been to the doctor to have it explained what they do?
I've
To the consultation?
I have not had the consultation yet, although I went to the website of the place that I would be going to get that consultation, and I watched a couple of videos. And it's actually one incision. This guy's really good. It's one incision. It's at the top, and then they basically stick a little hooky thing in there, and then it pulls out the two tubes, and gone. And then you're just basically just dealing with the one incision. It doesn't sound pleasant, but it doesn't also sound like I've had worse.
Yeah.
I've had worse.
I've had
see.
major abdominal surgery, and that having a little snip that doesn't sound so bad. Did I ever tell you
Nah.
about what happened during my surgery?
No.
This is an aside story. They used Dilaudid to sedate me when I went in to have my hernia worked on, and apparently when I came up from it, I zerked.
Zerked?
Yeah, I went berserk.
Oh,
on the way
no.
up. I have no memory of this. They said that I was They used the word combative. The word combative meant it took 4 of them to pin me down because I came up swinging and screaming in a bloody rage.
You sound like an unruly airline passenger.
Yeah. My wife was in the waiting room, and she said she heard me like just like guttural, like just as hard as I could, going crazy. And there's like, I hope that's not him. I hope that's not him. Please, God, let that not be him. And then they call her back there, and it's me. I ripped out my IV. I tore everything up. I nailed a couple of people.
You were like
they said,
Ripley in Aliens.
yeah, they said, I have no memory. The first thing I remember is being like, I need to take the mask off. I can't breathe.
Okay.
That's all I remember. And they're like, would you please sit down? I'm like, I am sitting down. They're like, no. And they had to put me back on. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. So apparently I had a.
I'm assuming when I get snipped, it's not going to be anything like that. I think it'll probably be an in and out afternoon thing with an ice pack in the future, I would think.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have an allergic reaction to the medicine that makes
that
you
would
go
suck.
crazy like I did.
All right, well, Madcucks, I think you should put out maybe a small ebook on how to will your sperm to stay put. I think that would be a good idea. But I'm done on my issue. And go ahead.
Okay, now you said that did you give the name of who won the contest? Of who,
Julie is actually an expat that I live with, or I didn't live with, but we knew down in Paraguay, who is kind of like is kind of like an unofficial sister to me when we were down there, because we didn't have a lot of family around for Christmas time, so we actually would go to Julie's place to get turkey and from her farm and stuff like that. So Julie knows my my drinking habits, and she correctly.
So she cheated.
I don't think she cheated.
Yeah, it sounds like she cheated. Sounds like this is all a big scam.
Are you accusing me of nepotism?
Yes, I am accusing you of nepotism.
Well, somebody had to win the damn contest, so now we have to figure out how to send that sticker down to Paraguay. I have a way of doing it. I'll tell you
Called
off
the mail.
Yeah, I wish that was the way that it worked. Unfortunately, the Paraguay does not have a centralized postal service, so we have to use a service called Paraguay Box. But we'll send that baby down to Miami, and then they'll bring it in from Miami.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to send this to you then?
No, I'll give you the address off air. And oh, by the way, we are speaking of other things. We are going to be putting together we're going to have a voicemail phone number that's not derivative of any other podcast. That's completely original. We're going to put a phone number up on the website so that people can leave completely original voicemails to us that we can completely originally play on the show without being derivative of any other show. And we're going to be putting that up.
I'm not so sure. This sounds awfully familiar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's your imagination.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have a voicemail line soon. I think, Buck, you're going to have to set that up through Google Voice, because Google hates Canadians and doesn't allow us to have a voicemail service for Google Voice. It's not available in Canada anymore.
In the meantime, before we get that set up, if someone has something they want to send in to us, like a voicemail, you can always record yourself with a microphone and then just mail an MP3 to us. What's our email?
I just go to the Facebook. If you go to the facebook.com/HWIDG, that's our Facebook page. You could probably just message us there, and it goes to both of us. So we should be able to get it there.
Yeah, and then we can play those, and then we'll get that set up and make it easier for everyone.
We're growing. This is episode 4, and I think this has been pretty good so far, except for the bitching and moaning from our host this time around.
Yeah, you can't win them all.
Hey, I come in here and help you guys out, try and bolster your podcast numbers, and you're going to shit all over me? You know what? Delete this. Delete the whole episode. Delete everything.
Sean is not an audio engineer on the show, so I don't know how to I don't know how to delete the whole episode. Or yours either, so. This has been Here's What I Don't Get. I'm Joel Chaco.
I'm Uncle Buck.
And our guest host has been the talented Madcucks.
The bestest writer in the universe.
Madcucks, where can they find you?
I'm on YouTube, Mad Space Cucks, and you can check out my book pages on Reddit, reddit.com/r/Madcucks. And I've also got a Patreon going, patreon.com/Madcucks, to pay an audio engineer that's not Sean to make my videos not sound like shit, because everybody was complaining about that for a long time.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Madcucks, for putting us in line about our derivative podcast. And we'll see you all.
You're welcome.
We'll see you all after Christmas, motherfuckers. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
A brief flash of light in the northern sky. It's how you gotta know that Santa has officially died. And then see disease ignites CBM. Soon on Satan won't know what hit him. Upload that Charlie on hell, straight to Charlie on hell. It'll be a wonderland of Northside, where the debris fell. I wonder if Rudolph Stone gives up infrared. I've got a surface to him, rather I'm gonna knock him dead. A brief flash of light in the northern sky. It's how you're gonna know that Santa has officially died.
Hey, Mom, it's Madcucks. Yeah, this real mean guy on the internet, he told me that Santa's not real. He's real, right? Okay, that's what I thought. All right, I'll see you. I'll see you in a couple days. Merry Christmas.